Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the channel where we collect and discuss vintage Magic cards. If you've seen any of our previous videos, you know we are a big fan of Alpha Magic the Gathering cards printed in 1993. Today we brought out the Amy Weber Time Walk Reimagined playmat. It's got a beautiful landscape, which will make an epic backdrop for our reveal of our completed Alpha Dual Land collection. Here we have a package that we just purchased from eBay. It came in the eBay Authenticity Guarantee program. I noticed it was slightly smaller than the previous eBay Authenticity Guarantee packages that we've received on the channel. If you recall those videos, those cards come authenticated by CGC in these little display holders. And today's package is no different in this little box here. It did come with a note, however. We got it on auction from a friend of ours who auctions quite regularly. So if you follow their auctions, they have cards every week up for auction. But eBay sent us a note about our authenticity guarantee that said, "Great news, the latest addition to your collection is on the way. We wanted to let you know that your item was authenticated, but also contains an aftermarket signature or embedded relic that we don't authenticate as part of our process. We stand behind the authenticity of your item, but we can't guarantee things like relics, memorabilia, or autographs added after the fact. If you have any questions, let us know." The last card that we bought, Alpha Dual Land, through the eBay Authenticity Guarantee program, if you recall, I did a video about that. It was quite popular. I will link that video in the description of this video if you're interested in checking out our first eBay Authenticity Alpha Dual Land video. And similarly, eBay said that item was miscategorized and could not be authenticated, but they sent it anyway, and we did our own inspection and it checked out perfectly fine. So today they have sort of updated their process and they are still able to authenticate the items. They just don't authenticate the signatures. That's something we're not super concerned with. We just needed this copy of this card, signed or unsigned, for our Alpha Dual Land set. And cool. So it comes in this little, "Congratulations on your recent purchase." This doesn't include the note about the signatures, but that is the insert that it comes with. And then this is the card. Alpha Badlands. That's as it was sent by the seller. I think the seller usually includes some bonus cards or extra cards or tokens. If I recall, the seller makes their own tokens, so we'll check that out. But this is the case that it came in. It looks like it's just a new holder, new display case for the eBay Authenticity Guarantee cards. It's blue, same color. They don't have this little stand anymore, so you don't get to display your cards like you could previously. Possibly just cutting back on costs, but it does have this little holder. That's kind of nice. So there's the card. We'll take a look at that today. It's an Alpha Badlands. It is signed by the artist Rob Alexander on the card. And then let's just see what our bonus cards were. I think these are possibly tokens or bonus cards. Anyway, eBay does not authenticate the extra items thrown in from the seller. These are just basic lands. We have a basic forest and a basic island. They look like they're from Modern Horizons 2. If anybody thinks those are special, let me know in the comments. But pretty cool. Thanks to the seller for including those in the package as well. We'll move this over here. eBay Authenticity Guarantee. We'll put this away. And then we'll take this out, we'll sleeve it up. Our main intention is to play with this card in Alpha 40, so we don't need it in the team bag or the Card Saver 2. We've now successfully voided the authenticity. And perfect. It does have a little surface dent on the top, which is not too bad. We did get an MP price for this card, and it has no inking on the edges, which is really awesome. The seller is really good about identifying any ink as well, just to let all the buyers know if it can be graded or not graded by PSA or Beckett. They will not really grade any cards that are inked. I have seen CGC will authenticate and grade cards that are inked with a sort of a green label that lets you know that there's a defect on the card, and they will note on the back of the label that the card was inked. That's the only company I know that will sort of label it as an inked card. PSA and Beckett will categorize that as an altered card, and they will just not authenticate it. So this is a very clean copy. There's not a lot of playwear on this. I'm actually pretty happy with this. Surface dents I can handle. It looks very clean. There's no like gross playwear along the edges, and the signature looks perfect as well. So we're gonna sleeve this up for Alpha 40, put a little perfect fit on there, and one of our matte sleeves, and then carefully slide it into the sleeve. Just maybe get some of the air out of there. So that is our Alpha Badlands, and as I mentioned before, this completes a playset subset of all 9 Alpha Dual Lands. And so no video would be complete without showing you the rest of the cards in that collection. So here's our stack of Alpha Dual Lands that completes the set. We have the first is the Badlands that we just picked up today. I'll also mention that the signatures, even though eBay Authenticity Guarantee wouldn't authenticate the signature, Rob Alexander signs quite often. So it's almost harder to find Rob Alexander cards that are unsigned. So if you're a collector of dual lands or alpha cards, I'd say there's probably a majority of them are possibly signed, and it's scarcer to find cards that are not signed by Rob Alexander. So his signature right now does not add a huge premium to the cards, not like Christopher Rush, who's passed away, and people want to pay extra to get a card that was personally autographed by him. Maybe in a few years that will change with Rob Alexander, but right now his signature is pretty ubiquitous, and we have several copies of Rob Alexander cards that we got him to sign in person at previous events that we can compare all the trademarks to. There are, slight differences in each of the signatures depending on the day he signed, time of day, how tired he was. Generally, I like to get artists to sign on the Thursday or Friday of a convention when they're less tired and fresh. Their signatures look better, and you can always supply them with a brand new Sharpie if you want to make sure you get gem mint signatures on your cards. Especially for valuable cards like Alpha Dual Lands, you want to make sure that the signature is nice and doesn't detract from the overall aesthetics or value of the card. But there's the Badlands. That's by Rob Alexander. That's our first card of the day. The second card in the Alpha Dual Land set is Bayou by Jesper Meerfors. This taps for black or green mana. The Badlands is red or black. We have a Plateau in HP condition. This is by Drew Tucker, and this art was replaced by Cornelius Broody in the revised edition. So you can only get this Plateau in Alpha, Beta, and Unlimited, which is pretty cool. I like that art a lot. It taps for red or white. Then we have a Savannah, also by Rob Alexander. This one is not signed. This taps for white or green mana. And then we have Scrubland, which looks very similar to Savannah, side by side. It's a little darker. The background is a little darker than the Savannah, but it is by Jesper Myrfors and taps for white or black mana. They also count as both versions of the basic land. So a Badland would count as a mountain or a swamp. A Bayou would count as a swamp or a forest. Plateau would count as a mountain or a plains. Savannah would count as a plains or a forest. And a Savannah, so Scrubland would count as a plains or a swamp. All right, moving on. The Taiga, this was the previous Alpha eBay Authenticity Guarantee card that we picked up. We made a video on the channel about 9 months ago when we first started on YouTube. I will link, like I said, I will link that video in the description below if you want to compare both Alpha eBay Authenticity Guarantee openings. We could also compare the two Rob Alexander signatures on these cards. They look identical. This one's a little smaller and thicker with a different, nicer Sharpie, but this one is still pretty nice as well. This is the Taiga. It's in played condition. It has the iconic print dot right there, printer Higgy, on the Alpha version. It's by Rob Alexander, and it taps for green or red, counts as a forest or a mountain. Then we have the Alpha Tropical Island that we've seen on the channel before. We've played this in Alpha 40 quite often. It was incorrectly credited to Mark Poole on the card art, but it was actually by Jesper Myrfors, who did Bayou and Scrubland and the Tundra, which is the next card in the set. And it taps for green or blue, counts as a forest or an island. And then the penultimate card in the Alpha Dual Land set is the Tundra. This is a very nice copy by Jesper Myrfors. Counts as a plains or an island, taps for blue or white. And last but not least is the Alpha Underground Sea, probably the most valuable Alpha Dual Land because blue and black are two of the best colors in the game. This is a HP copy. It taps for black or blue. It counts as a swamp or an island. And it has awesome art also by Rob Alexander, who also did Savannah and Badlands and Taiga. So Rob did 4 of the 10 dual lands. You'll notice the 10th dual land, Volcanic Island by Brian Snowdy, was omitted from the Alpha version. I did a video trivia question where I discussed that card in a little more detail. I think I'll link the video, Volcanic Island video, in the description of this video as well, so you can see the history and lore behind Volcanic Island and how it was omitted from the Alpha set. But that's why there are only 9 dual lands here in the Alpha set, because the 10th card was missing from the print sheet. I have seen some posts. I think there's a famous Reddit post where someone claims to have an Alpha Volcanic Island, which is probably just a beta Volcanic Island with clipped corners to look rounded like Alpha. But if you look at the Alpha print sheet, all 300, it was probably 290 cards on the Alpha print sheet. There is no Alpha Volcanic Island, so it was impossible to have been printed when Alpha cards were printed. So that's why there is no Alpha Volcanic Islands. And so we were just left with the 9 dual lands that you see here. So I'll make a screenshot. I'll also do a thumbnail. I found a new program called Canva, which lets me edit some digital images for the YouTube thumbnails. You may have seen a couple of those by now. Let me know what you think of those. I can also do a video and kind of share my process for how to edit a quick thumbnail if you want to. It's a free program. Also uses a little bit of AI, kind of gathers images from the internet if you do a little description. And so stay tuned. I have my package from PSA is in the mail and arriving, and I will open that on the channel and let you know what the results were from the Arabian Nights PSA grade crossovers, reholders. We reholdered about 21 Arabian Nights cards for the set, so I'll do a reveal when that box arrives, and then I'll probably do another Arabian Nights set review with all of the cards in PSA holders. So thanks everyone for watching the Alpha Dual Land video today. It's a lot of fun kind of reviewing these cards. This set took a couple years to put together. Some of these cards are hard to find, but if you wait patiently for the right price, they will turn up either at auction or buy it now. The market is down a little bit right now. I think the Badlands we paid less than the Taiga, less than the Savannah maybe. We got the Savannah like a year ago. So I feel like we got a slight discount on the Badlands while the market is soft. But had to pull the trigger, had to add it to the set. You needed to have all 9 Alpha Dual Lands for the collection. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite Alpha Dual Land? Let me know what's your favorite, or revised Dual Land, if you have revised Dual Lands. They still tap for 2 colors. Just iconic Magic the Gathering cards, and happy to be able to play these in Alpha 40. Stay tuned, we might build a deck with all 9 of these Alpha Dual Lands, so that we can play Demonic Tutor again. You never know. I think that might be something we'll work on next month after we get through all of our mono red deck matches this month. Thanks everyone, have a great day. See you in the next video.